You know, when we train a machine learning model, it's kind of like trying to find the very bottom of a huge foggy valley. We call this whole process optimization, and the tools we use for it are, well, optimizers. For a long time, these tools were pretty rigid. They just took fixed steps. But what if the tool itself could actually learn from the journey it was taking? Just think about that for a second. Instead of giving our model one single learning speed for its entire trip down the valley, what if the optimizer could get smarter as it went along? What if it could adapt its own strategy based on the terrain it's already seen? This is the revolutionary idea at the heart of a game-changing algorithm.
And that's where Adagrad comes in. It's short for adaptive gradient, and its genius is this. Instead of a one-size-fits-all learning rate for the entire model, Adagrad gives a unique, custom-made learning rate to every single parameter it's trying to tune.
Let's use a hiker analogy to make this super clear. Your standard optimizer, that's like a hiker who takes the exact same size step every single time, no matter what. Uphill, downhill, rocky, flat, doesn't matter. Same step. But Adagrad, Adagrad is a much smarter hiker. On a steep path it's been on before, where it's seen big changes, it takes small, careful steps. But out on some flat, new terrain, it takes bigger, more confident strides to cover ground fast.
So how does it actually pull this off? Well, first, it just sets up a little history tracker for every parameter. Second, it calculates the gradient, which is basically just figuring out the direction of the steepest downhill path. But step 3, this is where the magic happens. It adapts the learning rate for each parameter by looking at the sum of all its past gradients. And finally, it updates each parameter using its brand new personalized rate.
So here's the sequence Sparse, the whole idea in a nutshell. For any one parameter, the more it has been updated in the past, the smaller its updates are going to be in the future. It's that simple. If a parameter has already seen a ton of action, Adagrad tells it, okay, calm down, let's make smaller, more careful changes now. But if another parameter has barely been touched, it gets a bigger learning rate to help it catch up.
And this is exactly what makes Adagrad an absolute superstar in certain situations. It is fantastic for what we call sparse data. Think about text analysis, right? In a giant vocabulary, most words don't actually appear in any given sentence. Adagrad makes sure those rare, but maybe really important words get a bigger update so they can make an impact. Plus, and this is a big one, it pretty much gets rid of that painful, frustrating job of manually tweaking the learning rate for hours.
But, and there's always a but, isn't there? Adagrad has a fatal flaw, a real Achilles heel that's baked right into its design. Because it's always adding to the history of gradients and it never, ever forgets, the learning rates only go in one direction, down. They just shrink and shrink and shrink relentlessly.
And the consequence of that is pretty severe. It's like a car that's constantly losing fuel pressure. After a while, the learning rate becomes so tiny, so microscopic, that the model just grinds to a halt. It gets stuck, long before it ever reaches its destination. It just stops learning way too early.
On top of that, Adagrad has no momentum. You know, think of a ball rolling down a hill. Momentum helps it roll right over any small bumps in its path. Without that, Adagrad can get stuck in a shallow little dip, unable to build up the speed it needs to escape and find a much deeper, much better solution nearby.
But here's the really cool part of the story. Adagrad's brilliant idea, these adaptive learning rates, it was just too good to throw away. In fact, its biggest weaknesses are exactly what inspired a whole new generation of optimizers that took its core concept and fixed its biggest problems.
You can see the whole evolution right here. It all started with Adagrad, which, remember, just kept adding up all past gradients, causing that learning rate to just vanish. Then came RMSProp, which basically said, hey, what if we used a decaying average? Let's pay more attention to recent history. That stopped the learning rate from dying out. And finally, that brings us to Adam, the optimizer most of us use today. It took the best of RMSProp and added momentum into the mix, giving us the best of both worlds.
So this all leads us to one final, really interesting question. In today's world, where these super powerful, do-it-all optimizers like Adam are everywhere, is Adagrad just a cool history lesson, something we study to see how we got here? Or, for those very specific problems with super sparse data, is it still a specialist secret weapon just waiting in the toolbox for the perfect job? The answer, like with so many things in machine learning, is, well, it depends.